Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be giving my review on the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. I've had these for about a year now and I've been using them basically daily with my Galaxy phone, so I think that's more than enough time to actually give my review on these. I will say I do have two major issues right off the bat with these. The first being the case, because it is not built that well at all, especially when it comes to the hinge. Because even after a year, it has not been that long since I've gotten these, the hinge has already decided to just kind of give. It just does not feel all that sturdy, and it's also decided to squeak sometimes when I open the case. It just does not feel all that well built, especially, as I said, the hinge. It just doesn't inspire confidence. I'll just say that. But another big issue I have is actually related to sound. I don't think the tuning is bad. In fact, I think it's pretty good, especially for a wireless bud. I mean, even recently, there haven't been a whole lot of wireless buds that really even come close to these in terms of how good these sound. However, I will say at higher volumes, the treble can be much. Like a lot much, not like a little much, a lot. Like it can be piercing on a good amount of tracks, especially ones that are already pretty top end heavy. It is really kind of sibilant on these at higher volumes. Now, I will say I do listen to these at high volumes. However, I don't listen to these at like blisteringly high volumes because one, I want to preserve my ear health and I don't want to, fucking just destroy my ears and just shoot them into the fucking oblivion. However, I also don't want to leak sound. So yeah, that's another big reason why I don't listen to these at like super high volumes. But again, I listen to them at high volumes for reference. I have the Buds volume, not like my phone volume, but the Buds themselves at max volume, but I have my phone volume at around like 85. That's what I listen to music at. I do turn it down sometimes when an album is mixed louder, but normally I keep it at that volume. And again, at that volume, the treble is just too much. Like on a lot of tracks, it just distorts a little too much. And compared to the AirPods are pretty damn good. They deal with distortion pretty well, especially in the treble area. They're not nearly as sibilant and bright, which I just prefer. I think these will definitely make my ears a lot. They won't nearly be as like sharp and really resonant to my ears as these are, and I think they'll just they'll help my ears last longer. I'll just say that because I just keep butchering my English, and I'm sorry about that. But besides that, the other factors like comfort have been okay. I did actually wear these with these small ear tips for a good while, but then I realized after a while that the seal is pretty shit, so that I just went back to medium ear tips, and ever since then, they fit okay. I will say that probably the large ear tips will seal my ears best, but I mean, I do prefer to actually not have these in all the way. I know that's weird for me to say, but that's mainly because, as I've said before, my ears are stupidly sensitive to bass. And if I have them all the way in, that bass will just get trapped in my ears and it'll feel like it's fucking conducting throughout my entire body with how rumbly the bass is. So that's why I prefer to actually have these mostly in, but not all the way in, not like fully shoved in there. So yeah. And I know that, that doesn't make for the best sound experience, but again, I just kind of prefer to have it that way so my ears don't feel like they're being blasted by a bass cannon. So, yeah. But another reason why I actually got the AirPods, besides, of course, just the lesser treble, is also just because of the ANC and the transparency. Because I think both of those are better on the AirPods. I've heard that the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro are better in this department, but I've also heard that the Buds 3 Pro are just not that well built. They're also just worsely built, or not worsely. Worsely is not a word. They're just worse built than the Apple AirPods, which still sucks. But I've also heard that the stem design sucks, and that's another reason why I just went with the AirPods, because the stem is a triangle on the fucking Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, and they very blatantly copied the AirPods design, which I think is pretty dumb. Like, I do understand that the AirPods design is great. Like, I vastly prefer the stem design over just a standard wireless bud design with like the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, or not the Buds 3 Pro, the Buds 2 Pro. But I think the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro should have been differently designed and should have, incorporated stems maybe in a different way besides just copying Apple. Like, I think that was a really not smart move on Samsung's end. But also, it wasn't really smart to change the stem design. Because why? It just made it worse. Because from everybody that I've seen online, everybody under the sun basically says it is like a lot worse than the AirPods. Because, it's a weird fucking shape. So, yeah, again, the stem design is really not great on the Buds 3 Pro, which is another huge reason why I didn't get the Buds 3 Pro and I just got the AirPods instead. But another reason is also just because I have a Mac already, so it's not like I'm completely out of the blue and completely out of options when it comes to connecting these to anything. And I do understand that the codec will technically be worse. However, I already cannot really tell like the wireless compression that, wireless buds have to do to basically have like a Bluetooth connection, because wireless buds will incorporate a little bit of compression on to everything to basically, I don't know why, but they just have compression. But even I don't notice that. Like, I do not notice that. As technical as I am, I cannot notice that at all. So if I can't notice the compression in wireless buds, I won't be able to notice the fucking change in bit depth and codecs. Like, I can't notice that at all. And I think anybody that says that they can is kind of lying. I can understand if they hear the difference between, a compressed, wireless earbud and a non-compressed, wired earbud. But I don't really trust anybody that says they can actually fully tell the difference between 16-bit and or not, maybe especially 24-bit and 32-bit, but even 24-bit and 16-bit. I can't tell the difference, and I'm sorry, but I just can't. As much as I love to consider myself like an audiophile and I really pay attention to music, again, I can't tell the difference. So, yeah, that's the main reason why I'm going to be switching back to the AirPods once the Galaxy Buds 3, or not the Galaxy Buds, I keep calling them the Galaxy Buds 3, once the Galaxy Buds 2 die. And once the AirPods die, I'll probably just go to IEMs. So, yeah. That is basically my plan, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.